welcome back to the channel. If you guys follow my Instagram, you probably have seen that I got this IS200 as my new daily. And well, yeah, I guess I'll quickly show you guys around the car. And I just want to start by saying I got this thing real cheap. It was about $6,000 if you include some travel time, which I had to go down to Sydney to get it. But for the money, this car is honestly amazing. I love it. It is just so comfortable. So obviously it's in this nice metallic type of silver color, which I've really grown to love. And this is the sports luxury model, I think it was. So gives me the sunroof and these nicer trim of seats. And these seats are heated. The driver's seat is even electrical adjusting, electric folding mirrors. And yes, it is auto because I got so sick of driving a manual daily, and yeah, auto is just so much nicer. I'm loving driving this thing. One of the main reasons I wanted auto is because it does have cruise control, but for some reason it doesn't work. So if anyone knows how to troubleshoot that, please comment, let me know. But yeah, as I said, this thing was real cheap, so it's far from perfect. You can see that is probably the worst part of the car. But it's not supposed to be perfect. I've got the S15 for that, so I just want to make this into a nice looking daily that's comfortable, cheap, and I just don't have to stress about. I'm sure you guys know it doesn't take too much to make these things look pretty cool, so my idea for it is just kind of make it cheap, daily type of VIP build, I guess you could call it. It's more of a luxury Japanese car, not like an LS400 or anything, but you know, I think it's more at the bottom range of the VIP class, so yeah. So these popped up on Marketplace for a pretty good deal. Some BC BR coilovers, which are apparently only about 6 months old, and they do look it, they look real good condition. So hopefully they can fix the horrid wheel gap, because I don't know what Lexus Toyota was thinking, but this thing has a monster wheel gap. The stock wheels are definitely going to be real sunk when I lower it. I don't want spacers, but I will get wheels hopefully in the near future. I'm not going to make it crazy fitment like the S15, something that I'm less likely to get into some trouble with on the street driving every day. But I'm definitely not going to be holding back with how low I go. So let's just take one last look at that height, and yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so with the front wheels off, you can see this is what they call a double wishbone suspension setup. There's one top and bottom. And so I'm only used to like the S chassis 86 platforms, which have McPherson struts. So this is going to be a first time for me, but I looked up a couple YouTube videos and it looks very simple still. We probably will just have to disconnect a couple things at the bottom, because the stock suspension, same with the back, is just so long, it's hard to fit it out once you've undone it. But yeah, I think we should have this covered pretty easy. So we're going to start by removing this bracket, which I think is the ABS sensor, and the bottom bolt of the strut. Alright, so as I suspected, I can't get the strut out. It is completely disconnected, top and bottom, but there's just not enough room to get it out because it's so long. So under the rotor, there is 2 nuts. One and the other one on the other side, and that will let us maneuver the whole rotor and everything pretty much and slide the strut out. Okay, so here we have a stock strut next to the BC one. First off, I don't know what the person who owned these before was doing, but those are way too close to stock height, so gonna have to be lowering these before we put them in. And also this spring is just sitting here loose. So I'm definitely going to have to adjust the preload on that. If you guys don't know how to adjust preload, you spin this collar up until the spring is pretty much completely tight. And then as a rule of thumb, with both of these collars right up tight against the spring, you'll twist the upper collar tighter into the spring, just enough so that you can fit your little coilover tool in between the two, and then tighten it up. So it's just like there's just a little bit of pressure on that spring, so it's not going to be able to move around. You don't need to do it tight at all. Alright, so I just adjusted both of these, the heights, and I'm actually kind of worried I got some weird variant of the BCBR coilovers now, because that section is actually real short, and those are maxed out low right now. They're kind of not as low as I thought they would have been from looking at it like this next to the stock ones, but I mean, we'll chuck it in and we'll see how we go. Well, with the strut end connected just at the top, you can see I'm gonna have to jack this up a fair bit to be able to get the bolt in, so I guess that's a good sign that the ride height's gonna drop a decent bit. And I mean, this is still the daily, so it's probably sensible to not go too crazy. Alright guys, moment of truth. Well guys, I'm actually pretty happy with it. It's definitely low compared to the back. The car looks like it's doing an endo right now. I'm convinced these interior clips are the stupidest thing ever made. But anyway, for the rears, you just got to pull them out, pull this carpet back a bit, can undo the top of the strut there, and these should be a bit easier than the front because there's no control arms or whatever. 2 bolts there, one on the bottom, and I'm hoping with a bit of force I can pull this out without having to disconnect anything else. Okay, so of course there's not enough clearance, so I'm gonna undo this to get the sway bar link disconnected, then undo that, drop the arm, then we'll be able to get the strut out. This is what the rears maxed out look like compared to the standard. Again, probably not quite as much of a drop as I wanted, but yeah, let's see how it looks. Alright, so even in the air, we got quite a lot less wheel gap than it had before just sitting on the ground, so I think we'll be okay. Okay, so I apologise for getting down, worrying that these weren't going to be low enough. I know I did have to max them out, but this is sitting perfect. I think it looks really good. Like, it's low, but it's not just like absolutely slammed like the S15, of course. It's tucking the tiniest bit of tyre, front and rear, and the body looks pretty even. Doesn't look like it's lower in the rear or the front or anything like that. When it gets new wheels, 17s with some lower profile tyres, it'll bring the ride height down even more, but for now I reckon this is perfect. I can actually drive around now with at least a little bit of self-respect, knowing I'm not driving around at stock height. Definitely keen to get like a lip kit, skirts and some wheels for this, but it's not that important. The S15 is definitely the priority, and there's a few changes coming for that soon. But yeah, I think lowering this is going to keep me happy with it for a little bit. Anyways, I'm guessing this was a real short one, but I'm going to end it there. I'll take the car for a quick test drive now, and I guess I'll stop somewhere and get some little cinematics for you guys. But yep, thank you for watching. As always, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.